Hi guys, it's Kelly Latavola here, and I am back with another video for honeybee stamps. I told you before I am feeling the geometric floral scene, so I have kind of another spin on that, and I also have another fun thing for you. So this is the Hexagons stamp set. Get a good look at that. And then the Spring Peonies, I'm using both the stamp set and the die. And then the Thanks a Bunch is my sentiment, also stamp sets and die. So I'm using a couple of different inks here. This is the Altenew Enchanted Gold, and they're obsidian ink. They are pigment inks, which means that they stamp really, really well. It also means they stay wet really, really long. But their coverage is amazing, and because I knew that I was going to be coloring the flowers and all of that, I had time for them to dry. I went ahead and did the stamp set first, and I'm old school in it here, so I'm doing the acrylic blocks that I have. This is something that I just find when I'm making my own pattern is much easier to just use the acrylic blocks. There's a bunch of different patterns in here for all the hexagons, which I really love. So I have been trying over on my Instagram. If you're on Instagram, my username is D as in David, ISP6194. It stands for Dispatcher 6194. It's my badge number. And I created that well before I was known in the card making world, which is why it doesn't have anything to do with card making. But so I have been trying to get to 10,000 followers, because when you get to 10,000 followers, you can actually link in your stories, so you don't have to send people all over God's green earth to find your information or your profiles or whatever that you're linking to. Side note. So also in this hexagon pattern set here, there are a couple of different like half hexagons, different patterns. This one is the solid one, and I'm going to use that to fill in some of my outline hexagons with the gold, just as something a little bit different. I knew I wasn't going to stamp a full background. I was just going to kind of sporadically put them in the background, and so I thought that would be a fun way to add more of that gold in. But anywho, so I've been trying to get to the 10,000 followers. So Honeybee is very, very generously allowing me to do an Instagram giveaway on my Instagram. So this hexagons set is the giveaway, as well as a pencil pouch and then a little bee pen that you can only get if you spend $100 in the store. Like, you cannot buy it, it's not for purchase. So that's so awesome of them. Because they are so awesome and you guys are so awesome, I kind of wanted to meet them halfway. So whoever wins that, the hexagons pencil pouch pin, I will also be purchasing a Spring Peonies set, stamp set, and that will be included for that as well as my contribution. So I'm going to have it open for a full week, so Saturday to Saturday, and then we'll announce the winner next Saturday, which I believe is, let me look, don't mind my clicking, the 24th. So Saturday, August 24th, we'll announce the winner for that. So you have to be a follower of mine on Instagram, and then leave a comment on that post. What do I want to know? I want to know what the best pet you ever had is. And the reason that I say this is because my child just won a fair goldfish. And my face when he was so excited about the fair goldfish was such feigned excitement, because I was like, what am I going to do with this goldfish? Because I have to try to keep it alive. But that's a story for the next episode, because we're going to talk about this coloring here for a minute. So with these peonies, they're already beautifully drawn. So I'm just going to add shading to accentuate what is already there. So anytime two things come together, they're going to be darker, any place where two of them meet, and anytime one object lays on top of another object. So here you can see that there's lots of little details in the center of this peony. Don't let that overwhelm you. I know some flowers can be overwhelming. Don't let it overwhelm you. You got this. You're awesome. Keep practicing. So I'm doing some flicking from the base of the petals on the outside, and then anywhere where the petal is drawn, where it has a natural dip, I'm adding a little bit of darker color there as well. It's going to give it a lot more movement and a lot more dimension. For the little teeny tiny centerpieces, I'm not doing any flicking at all. Where the petals are coming out from the center, I'm adding one little line. That's it, guys. One line of the darker color. I like to start with my lightest because I'm very heavy-handed. So if whatever color I start with, that's the color I typically put down the most of. So because I know that, I know I usually cannot start with my darker color. I have to start with my lighter color. And then it also makes it easy in case I've made any like shading errors, if I'm using a light source, to cover it up because it's the lightest color. So I'm just going to progressively work from my lightest out to my darkest, and then my darkest back into my lightest. So anywho, back to this Instagram giveaway. So I want to know what the best pet you ever had was, because I'm typically a dog person. I'm not a fish person. I'm not a bird person. I think I told you guys my bird story about how my lab ate my sister's bird, but mine lived forever. But I never really, me and Green Pea never really had a connection. You know what I'm saying? Then we also had a guinea pig, which we loved enough to basically just name it Baby. I mean, we couldn't even be creative. Like we're talking about getting a puppy, which you guys know. And I've been on the lookout for one for quite some time now. And there's one that's a possibility right now. We're kind of wait and see if it's going to work out. And he is a puppy. But I was talking to Peanut about names, and we went through... Wait, what was the first? Snow Fluff? Snow Fluff was the first. It's a boy dog, by the way. Snow Fluff. To Cutie. And then he came up with Max, which I was like, I can get behind Max. Max I can get behind. So we'll see if this ends up being our forever dog that kind of, completes our little family for now. But yeah, it's very interesting. The Goldfish's current name is Orangey Talkie. Because first his name was Orangey, and then he asked Eric if he could change his name. And Eric was like, well, we've had him for about 5 minutes, so I don't think he really knows what his name is. I'm pretty sure you're safe to go ahead and change it. So then he changed it to Talkie, but now we're just calling him Orangey Talkie, Mr. Orangey Talkie the Goldfish. So, yeah. I mean, okay, I guess pretty much we're telling that story now. So not for the next episode. That's what we're doing right now. So my sisters brought my little Peanut to the fair that I was working at. We have a booth for the police department. That's where I'm working. And so they brought my little Peanut up to visit me, which was awesome. We got to do some face painting and hanging out. And we're doing like little mug shots for the kids. It's all totally adorable. And so we were busy. My sisters took him over to play some games. Literally 5 minutes later, he comes back and he's like, look, Mom, I want a goldfish. And I look at my sisters and I'm like, what has happened here? Like, I put you two in charge, and then you're going to take him and let him win a goldfish? Like, don't you have my back? Aren't we sisters? Come on. So, nonetheless, we get a goldfish. So, my sister is, I'm working. So my sister is babysitting Peanut for me. And I was like, dude, this is on you. You got to find something. I got like vases at home. And my other sister was like, well, you need distilled water. And I'm like, how do you know this? She was like, oh, I used to have fish. Things you don't know about your siblings. I didn't know she had fish. She had fish. So good thing, because I was like, this thing's going to live for maybe 24 hours. It's a carnival fish, okay? He's traveled a lot. He might be a little baby, but he's seen a lot in his short lifetime. I'm guessing he's going to live a couple of days. But so anyway, I get home last night. Apparently my mother, somewhere in our basement, had fish rocks, which would lead me to believe at some point we also had fish that I don't remember. I don't know why she has fish rocks. But nonetheless, she has fish rocks. So my sister Kim has put the fish rocks in a vase with the goldfish, and he's chilling in my son's room. Just chilling there in the distilled water. She stopped and bought distilled water at the grocery store. So I was like, 10,000 ant points to you, minus the 1 million you get for letting him get in the fish in the first place. So you're negative... 10, whatever that is, 9,999,999 points. You're still in the hole, Kim. That's basically what I'm trying to tell her. Anyway, so this morning I get up. I have to go do some things. So get Peanut off to his dad's parents' house. I go do the things I need to do, and then I stop and go to buy a fish tank. And I stop at, it's called Pet People. Pet People's right by the place that I'm at. And I walk in and they're like, yep, we really don't have any fish things. Nope, we've got some conditioner, and that's about it. You need to go to like a Petco or a Petland. So I get back in my car, I go to the Petco, I walk in, John greets me. Hello, John. Lovely to meet you. He was very helpful. I said, I have a carnival fish. He said, I'm sorry about your luck. I said, how do I keep the thing alive, John? I don't know how. Can you help me? So he leads me over to the tanks and the decorations and the food and the this and the that. And then nearly $70 later, of not one penny did I want to spend, I have all of the makings to keep a goldfish. So then I come home. You got to rinse everything. You can't just like put it together. You got to rinse all of it off, build up the tank, put the filter in. That took me a hot minute because I didn't understand I had to push it down. Instructions were not clear. They were like instructions from IKEA. That's not true. They weren't in Swedish. But anyway, so I get all of that put together. I get the fish into the tank, and now we have a pet fish. That's what we have. So I was looking to see what you can put with the goldfish, because I know, fish eat other fish, and that's how that happens. And like betta fish can never be with other bettas. There's some other fish they can't be with because they'll eat them up. But so anyway, I was looking to see, and they were like, to have a goldfish, you need a 20-gallon tank. That's what the thing said. 20-gallon tank. I got a 2.5-gallon tank, y'all. That's what I got. That's what John at Petco sold me. He said it was fine. So this is what the goldfish lives in. But I guess this is also what John told me. I live near Lake Erie. He said that there was a real problem with people dumping their goldfish into Lake Erie, and they were becoming like 2 feet long. A 2-foot goldfish. Can you even imagine? I cannot. So this one's going to get as big as this tank allows. Like, I'm not trying to stunt his growth. I want him to be the best orangey, talky goldfish that he can be. But also, I am not purchasing a bigger fish tank. So if this one kicks the bucket, if he goes belly up in the next couple of days, though the girl at Pet People told me that she had a goldfish that lived for like 6 or 7 years or something. Oh my Lord, am I going to have this goldfish for 6 or 7 years? This fair goldfish? I don't know. I'm not sure what my life's become. So I'm a proud owner of a dog who I love very much, and I snuggle and I cuddle. And Orangey Talkie the goldfish, who I'm pretty sure we're going to watch swim around for approximately 5 minutes of our life. But I cannot in good conscience just, let him die. So I had to get him the things. If he dies, I'll get a betta fish. Because apparently they're real easy to take care of, and you can only ever have one. And they're pretty. They have the beautiful tails. So that's my game plan thus far. I'll let you know how it goes. Here, everything is all colored up. I used the die cuts to match it. And then I'm just putting it together. Pop those little guys up on some foam tape, tucking my little leaves behind. And then for my sentiment, I'm going to do a half and half. I'm going to pop it up on foam tape on the one side and then just use regular glue over where the florals are. So just to reiterate, to get into the giveaway, which will be, the winner will be announced next Saturday, August 24th. You have to follow me on Instagram. I hate doing this. I don't even ask people to subscribe. Like, I just abhor the whole thing. But I need that 10,000 y'all so I can link to it. Know what I'm saying? So you got to do what you got to do. So follow on Instagram, and then on that post, leave me a comment that tells me what the best pet you ever had was. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will catch you on the next video.